Welcome back. You're still tuned in to News and Views with myself, Salailo Makwidiri. The Palestinian struggle for justice continues to be at the center of global discourse, and recent developments have sparked renewed outrage. US President Donald Trump has reportedly proposed a plan to relocate Gazans to neighboring Arab states, a plan that has been swiftly condemned by Egypt, Jordan, and also the Palestinian people themselves. Critics argue that this is yet another attempt to almost legitimize Israel's occupation and to embark on another quest of ethnic cleansing of the people of Palestine. And this is all in violation of international law. And joining us now, coming to us live from Malaysia to discuss this issue is Farwina Faroque. She's the Secretary General of BDS Malaysia, a movement dedicated to advocating for Palestinian people's rights through boycotts, divestments, and sanctions. Farwina, assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Salam Media.
Alaikum salam. Thanks for having me.
First and foremost, for our listeners who might not know of this plan proposed by Donald Trump, can you give a bit more insight and background on what it ultimately means for the people of Palestine and why it should be opposed so passionately?
Yeah, so basically, whatever Donald Trump is doing is pretty much rewarding, the apartheid regime, Israel, by asking the Palestinian in Gaza to be forcibly displaced to Egypt and Jordan, which is like such a bad thing after what they have been going through for 15 months, the ongoing genocide, and the ceasefire happened. And then now he's proposing that, hey, just send those people to Egypt or Jordan. And we are talking about those people who are already refugees in their own land, like they can't go back to the original place of birth, like they already becoming refugees in Gaza. And now he's saying, like, let's make it easier for Israel to steal the land of Palestine in Gaza. So pretty much that's what he's trying to do. And I'm not sure why he wanted to do that. Maybe he also wanted to be listed in the list of ICC, that war criminals. So maybe that's why he's doing all this. So yeah.
I want to touch a bit on, the reaction of some of the Arab countries. Egypt and Jordan particularly have rejected this proposal outright. What does this tell us about how Arab nations view Trump's plan? We know that during, the last 15 months of this genocide, this ongoing genocide against the people of Palestine, there was a lot of criticism about, Arab nations and how they're seemingly, not coming out strongly in support of Palestine. What do we make of their reaction regarding this proposal this time around?
Yeah, because I'm not in the political background, I'm not a political analyst, so I'm not able to give the political view kind of approach. But I can say that I hope they finally realize whatever them trying to be friends with USA, it's not going to make them, not going to do them any good. They should have learned from the previous decision by the Egypt, especially Anwar Sadat he has done to Palestine by selling them to Israel, being the first Arab country to actually recognize Israel. So they should realize that is not a good thing to do. And now, with the ongoing genocide, the 15 months of genocide, they're not doing anything much. And finally, they're speaking up against US just because they're saying hey, give them those Palestinians. Only now they are waking up. So they should have been woken up a long time ago. And I hope that they would finally work together and do something to give the Palestinians to restore their rights. Not to do this just for their own sake, but to actually do this for the Palestinian sake. So yeah, hopefully that's that. My point of view as an activist. Yeah.
No, definitely. And, as activists, stationed in Malaysia, where you're from, there's been a call from, the BDS in Malaysia for your country, Malaysia, to go beyond, just rhetoric and to also almost push a bit further for Israel's expulsion from the UN. What practical steps are they, do you think Malaysia can take to make sure that this happens?
Yeah, of course. There are so many things we can do as a country. We know we don't sign the Rome Statute, so we are not part of the ICJ, but we can do more from just that. we BDS movement, like the global movement, we have been making campaign, making effort to kick Israel out from the United Nations. And then we heard that our prime minister is picking that up too. Yeah, like Malaysia is going to push for that. But ever since that, we haven't heard any updates. So we are hoping that, yeah, they are working hard to make sure that's possible. Those are the many things that we can do. So because as a country, when you do that, it's bigger than just individual doing that. Of course, like we as individuals, as citizens of Malaysia, we also have our part in pushing our government to do that. And kicking Israel out of United Nations is a beautiful thing. Like they don't deserve to be there. Like they don't respect any United Nations, like whatever the resolution there are. So why are they still there? So we're hoping that Malaysian government would actually make this possible. And other than that, maybe also join other countries that are pushing to um, put like charge Israel in the ICJ. So those are the many things that as a country we can do. And I think this is not the time for just lip service because we know we can do more. Yeah.
Mm, 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 mm. And I think you make a really, really important point that there's still more that can be done, and it almost feels like because of that announcement of that ceasefire deal, a lot of people are kind of losing steam. They're losing focus when it comes to Palestinian solidarity. I mean, I just read a story about the five babies squished into one incubator in Gaza, and it's things like this that continue to happen. You still have some parts of Palestine where there are attacks on people. There's still a humanitarian crisis that's ongoing, where you have children, women, and just the general public of Palestine still living under severe famine, particularly in northern Gaza. Is it important now more than ever, while this ceasefire deal is still intact, to kind of double up on efforts when it comes to Palestinian activism? And what would you say to people who are a bit relaxed now because that ceasefire has been implemented, and we don't see that much of Palestine when we switch on our television screens, and attention looks like it's slowly being diverted away? And I think this is what the Israeli occupying forces would want, where the whole world stops talking about Palestine, and then they can continue going under the radar with the impunity that they've been inflicting the people of Palestine for almost 98 years right now.
Yeah. I think like I would just say that the Israeli regime, they have been trying to erase our voice previously by not allowing us to be loud on social media, or not, like speaking against them, and they know that's not working. So now they wanted us to like divert our attention, thinking that they're already doing their part when they're not. They are like violating every ceasefire deal that's possible right now. But also, my dear friend Ambir Baraka, she's in Gaza, and she said that it's okay to celebrate the small win. Small win is still win. That's such a Palestinian spirit. So like, go and celebrate the ceasefire deal, but also like be sure that you're still like spreading the awareness, working towards the liberation of Palestine. Because this is not even, to me, it's not even the first step of the liberation of Palestine. This is like zero step or something, because we are human. We need to pause a bit, but we also need to work more, like harder, to make sure they actually get their liberation as a land, as a nation, as a sovereign land. So yeah, like there's no beautiful way for me to put this. It's just that you need your rest. Go ahead and rest, but then come back stronger. And like keep talking about this. Keep pushing our government. Keep asking, like advocating everyone around you to do more for Palestine. As individual, we can do a lot. We can boycott. We can talk about this. We can organize campaign. We can support the existing campaign near us. And then like if you have bigger role in society, like you're the representative of your council or whatever, you can do more to push your government. So everyone has their role. Like don't believe whatever the Israeli regime and their players are trying to tell you, that you are not able to do anything. We are able to do a lot of things actually. Yeah.
And I think we're going to leave on that note. Farwina Faroque coming to us live from Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. She's the Secretary General of BDS Malaysia. Thank you so much for giving us your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
There we go. Yeah, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, news and views continues after this.